All right, so it's a lovely good evening and welcome to Ubuntu channel. I am your host, Lance Sani Banda, and of course, it's another lovely Wednesday evening. As you already know, on a Wednesday, we get to bring to you this exciting program right here on Ubuntu channel. You can get to watch this particular program live on Facebook as well as on our YouTube channel, which is Ubuntu channel Zambia. All right, so this evening we are taking or talking about something interesting. As you know, that there's a new proposal, or there's a proposal of a new education curriculum framework. This evening we want to analyze this particular framework. What good does it have, and also what benefit does it have for the learners out there? This evening I will be playing host to, as usual. He's a colleague, he's a comrade, as well as a youthful young man by the name of Chabu Chabu. I call him an education champion because he is championing education. He is championing at least a better livelihood for the students at the various high institutions of learning in the country. Comrade Chabu, good evening. Welcome to the program.
Good evening, Mr. Lansky. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be back again on Ubuntu channel.
Definitely, you are a man that wears so many hats. You have many things that you fight for. Of course, evidently, it's the lives of the students in high education institutions, talking about the loans, high education loans, and also bursaries. How far have you gone with that before we get into what we are discussing this evening?
Thank you. Otherwise, for the part of loans for the students, would say the government has been so good to the students, and
Mm.
we believe that they'll continue to be like this. Although we know that the government works with a restricted budget, so obviously not everyone who applies for a student loan will be given, but we have seen some improvement each and every year. For example, like at CPU, we have seen like 4,000 being given
Mm.
loans from 2,000 which were being given. So we have seen that there is a 100% increasement in the way the government is awarding these loans. So to me, I would say government is doing the most, and we are at a good pace, and everything is just okay on that other part.
You are a youth advocate. Kindly tell us, what are you advocating for, especially when it comes to the youthful masses? As we know, Zambia is about 54, if not 56% population of young people or youths. What are you advocating for these young people?
Ours is simple, Mr. Nancy. Ours is education for all. We know that education is a powerful weapon that a person can use to change the world. And as we are championing that each and every young people should make sure that they attain what education. We are blessed with the new government for bringing free education. So we have to sensitize the youth who are staying home to say, government has brought free education. You have to utilize it. You have to use it. So our advocacy depends on the youth accessing good quality education through the government. The same thing of the loans is some youth who stay in rural areas, they don't even know that there is high education loans and scholarship boards which offer scholarships. It is up to us as concerned citizens to volunteer and sensitize those youth who have just completed the job and tell them to say, there is this thing which government offers. So ours is simple. We focus on the educational sector for the young people.
Mm. Thank you so much. And to you, our dear viewer, remember that this is Meet Your Leaders on Ubuntu channel. This is a program that comes your way every Wednesday, right about this time, as we get to bring to you different leaders from different walks of life to discuss different issues and different themes. Now, Mr. Chabu, not so long ago, or not many days ago, we saw the Ministry of Education launching the 2023 Zambia Education Curriculum Framework. Looking at the fact that there's been a say or a talk to say many people, many Zambians don't know how to read, or if you want to hide something from a Zambian and African, put it in writing. Definitely you hide it from them. Just overall, before we get to look at this framework bit by bit, after reading this framework, what kind of feeling do you have for the future of our education system in Zambia?
Otherwise, like you have alluded, Mr. Lance, Zambia got independence in 1964. From 1964, we have been using the same framework for our colonial masters, which means that even now the educational sector is still colonialized. We are still being colonialized in the educational sector. Why? Because we are still using the same framework from 1964 to date. So after reading and after analyzing that there is this government which has tried to change not everything but certain things to meet what the country is going through, to me it is a welcome move by the government. If it is a proposal, to me it is a very, very tremendous move. And as a young person, everyone should support this move. If it takes us volunteering ourselves for free to take this good news to other people, we are going to do it. It is a very good move by the government. And after reading it, we can see that after maybe if they implement it, maybe in the next 10 years, Zambia won't be the same.
All right, pretty interesting. Our dear viewer, remember that you can ask your question, or you can join us into the studio later on the program by simply leaving a comment underneath this particular broadcast. We would love to know or hear from you how you are understanding this particular document, as well as also if you have questions that you would like to ask and to get answered. We will be gladly available to read that question and have it answered right on this platform. Now, Mr. Chabu, when you read this 2023 National Policy on Education, obviously the theme is talking about education for sustainability. The aim of education is to enable learners acquire knowledge, become competent, as well as positive values and attitudes to enhance the quality of life. Additionally, this policy guides the process of producing learners with 21st century skills at all levels to achieve Zambia's development aspirations. Now, after learning or after hearing about this, what is meant by learners acquiring positive values and attitudes to enhance quality of life, when there are learners that we know who come from homes where they are not groomed or prepared with positive values and attitudes? How can a teacher achieve this if we are to adopt this framework? Comrade Chabu, are you here? Oh, I seem to have lost you in audio. I can't hear you. Comrade, I still can't get you. All right, so maybe let's get to do this. If we can go on a very short break, when we come back, obviously we would have sorted this issue of sound right here. Remember, this is Meet Your Leaders on Ubuntu channel, a program that comes away every Wednesday from
globally 85% of infertility is because of infections, typically the chlamydia and the gonorrhea.
Your time is up. Thank you so much.
Okay. Since I've been mentioned, I can react to what comment Chinda just
I haven't finished my point.
Remember,
Now,
we're going to
okay,
give
let
you
me finish my point so that my brother can.
Does the Patriotic Front know the kind of damage they have done to our economy and to our country? I do not.
The alleged abduction of Pamela Chisupa, and this case has really kept us on our toes. And in as much as
nobody has been acquitted from this new dawn administration cases that have been started. There's nobody that has been acquitted. Okay?
CJ, foreplay. I'm not talking about jump and begin acting like a kangaroo. No, foreplay. Many of us as Africans, we lack this virtue. This is not there.
Yeah, the time project ku Malabo. What's about the first game toilet was Senegal. I think very tutasana underrated because even the warm up, you can see the way they are doing warm up. But munakati bola na bawina kale no.
It's actually good if you start creating competition in the team. If you don't create competition, then you will have a problem. Who to replace when one is injured?
The names people have been calling me, I accepted them and I will stand them. But what I would prefer being called as a nickname, I would prefer.
All right, welcome back, and thank you so much for still staying with us right here on Meet Your Leaders. Now, this evening, we are having a discussion on the new education curriculum framework analyzing. And my guest this evening is Mr. Chabu Chabu, who is a youth advocate, and I'm your host, Laz Aniba. Mr. Chabu, let's see if we now have you.
Okay, are you able to get me now?
Now I can get you loud and clear.
Okay.
All right. So, of course, just for the sake of viewer that has just joined us and so I was referring to the 2023 education, whose theme is education for sustainability. Now, the aim of education is to enable learners competencies, positive values and attitudes to enhance also additionally the policy guides the process of producing learners contributes to centuries at all levels to achieve just development aspirations. Now to you, comrade, how to explain what is meant by the word learners acquiring positive value attitudes to enhance quality of life when there are learners that come from families, backgrounds, or homes where their parents have failed to groom them properly, or maybe to even implement or implant positive values and attitudes. How can a teacher achieve this, which the parents have failed to do?
Okay, so to start with, we need to know that when we go to school, we don't go to school there just to learn mathematics and English. Like you have alluded, we go there to learn what? How to behave, how to interact with society, how to find solutions, how to notice that this is a problem, and how to provide solution to that problem. So as teachers are trained in how to handle what? Students or pupils. They have this course in university which we call psychology and sociology. These courses, they train teachers on how to handle certain behaviors of students. You'll be very surprised that a teacher can know that this student smokes or these people smokes, but the parents, they can't know that my son has started smoking. But a teacher will be able to tell that this pupil of mine has started smoking. Why? Because teachers are trained in such a way that they are able to foresee what is happening in the lives of what? The pupils. So when we talk about skills or positive behavior to the society, teachers are well trained in colleges and universities on how to handle students who are misbehaving and all that. And we have what we call counseling. At each school, there is what we call counseling center and disciplinary committee. So you find that when students or pupils are not listening, you find that teachers will be able to take them to counseling center. What you have started abusing drugs is bad. It is going to do this and this to you. If they intend to continue, they'll take them to disciplinary committee where they are going to face physical punishment. So these are the things that teachers usually teach those pupils in terms of how to behave in society and to provide positive behavior.
All right, so pretty interesting there. Now, since I know that you have gone through this policy framework, the education curriculum policy framework that obviously has been published by the government or is under scrutiny. Let's talk about some of the issues that have been included or have been brought out in this framework. We are talking about primary school in at 6, meaning junior secondary school will now run in 4 years. During this, when do learners transition to senior secondary school?
Okay, so what we need to understand, Mr. Lancy, is that Zambia is rushing toward what we call Vision 2030. And right now we are on the 80th National Development Plan. And for us to achieve this Vision 2030, we need to start making changes first with the mindset of people. How can we do that? We can do that through what? Education. How? By bringing and embracing this new framework. So, what we should know is in this new framework, you find that from grade 1 to grade 6, a person will be learning skills and knowledge. When I talk about skills, a person will be able to learn bricklaying and agriculture. When I talk about knowledge, a person will be able to learn mathematics and English. So you find that this new curriculum is now getting how many things? 2 things, knowledge and skills. Back then, the curriculum that we're using now, it was only providing what? Knowledge, but not skills. Students and pupils used to learn about Homo habilis. They used to learn about David Livingstone. But now we have pupils who are trained only to remember something, but not to practice. But this new curriculum has brought something which is real, something that you can see, because you can be able to see that agriculture can be able to see that this is what is happening. I have to put D compound here. When it reaches this stage, I have to put urea. And mathematics, you'll be able to know how to count, how to deal with currencies, how these things goes about. And English, it will be very easy for you to communicate with other countries. But let's say, for instance, the curriculum that we have now. I'm not saying history is bad, no. If someone doesn't like history, social studies to say, they used to force in junior secondary that you have to, whether you like it or not, social studies was compulsory. And someone who is not interested in knowing that David Livingstone met Henry Stanley Moto at Ujiji River, what are they going to benefit from that information? What will that information bring in the lives of people, even after that grade 6? This is why, Mr. Ransi, we need to embrace this, because you find that someone at only grade 6 has acquired a skill which can enable them to sustain themselves. Bricklaying. you find that maybe even money is difficult to feed the family. You find a grade 6 providing for the family. Why? Because they have acquired skills such as bricklaying and agriculture. But now, which grade 6 can provide for the family? Which skills have they acquired by grade 6? Somebody depending on Mr. Lance. There is no skill which they have acquired.
If you put it that way, Comrade Chabu, it sounds like you are trying to. It sounds like this framework is trying to make a child become family responsible of 6. Is that right?
Okay, what we are trying to do is what we are trying to say is they say charity begins at home. Right now, Mister, I'll give a very practical example. I was watching a certain video from Russia, and I found baby class. They in a class they had computers. Everyone had computers. They were making what we call Microsoft. Microsoft. I don't know if it is software whatsoever for the computers. And I tried to get this video from a certain school here in Zambia, and these pupils were learning about jumping, how to jump, how to write a two. So I started comparing the two to say, if these people are learning on how to develop a software, and in Zambia we are teaching pupils how to jump, how to memorize and all that. These people are of the same age. If a country like Russia can teach students or pupils how to develop a software, even us here, we can teach our pupils on how to farm through agriculture compulsory subject. We are not trying to say the pupils will be providing, but anything can happen, anything can happen, because at the end of the day, we are trying to make pupils acquire a skill at a very young age, so that even if things are difficult as we are going forward, someone has got a skill.
Now, Comrade, when you look at framework, it looks like it's going to introduce many exams to these learners. Like for degrees, what to get to understand, they haven't read the framework, or they don't have the opportunity yet to have a look at the framework. How many exams will learners be conducted at primary level, junior level, senior secondary, for them to qualify for tertiary education?
Okay, so to start with, the first exam that pupils will be writing, it will be at grade 6. So at grade 6, you write an exam to proceed to grade 7. So now, starting from grade 7 up to grade 10, 7, 8, 9, there will be no exams. 10, you have to write an exam. That is what we call Form 2. From grade 10, you'll be writing exams. 11, you have an exam. 12, you have an exam. And you have now to write A levels for you to go to what? To tertiary level. Now, this is a very good move. Why? Because we used to learn from grade 8, then we come and write the exams in grade 9, which means what we have learned in 2 years, we come and write it in less than few minutes. But right now, the way it is, this framework, what you learn in that year, you will write it. Why is it so nice? Because you'll be able to concentrate, you'll be able to utilize your mind, and you'll be able to focus that this year we have only covered this and this and this. And this is what we should expect in an exam. But back then, this curriculum we are using now, you'll find that someone has even forgotten what they did in grade 8. And for them to remember in grade 9 exam, that's why people say grade 9 is the hardest exam. True. Because the students, pupils, they learn for 2 years, and you bring something they learned in grade 8, you bring it in after a year, which is making it hard for the pupils even to pass this grade 9 exams. But this one will be all cover. What you learn, it will be like my test, because what we used to do, what they do is from grade 6 to go to grade 7, you just write my test. So it will just be like test, continuous assessment until you proceed.
All right. Our dear viewers, remember you are watching with your leaders on Ubuntu channel, and this is a Wednesday where we get to every Wednesday edition with different leaders from different walks of life to discuss different issues, things that affect our life. This particular evening, we are talking about the new education curriculum framework, which we are trying to analyze and see or goodness about this particular framework. Now, Comrade Chabu, talking about the past framework that or system that we've been using, and this new one which is being proposed. Let's get to look at how it's working. Don't you think that having exams at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 will be something like trying to sieve something which superfine from what is fine? Don't you think it will bring some form of levels of okay, Ananzeru, Ananzeru, such issues?
What I can say on that is that as a country, we need to adjust to the fact that there is a new proposal which has been introduced, not to benefit anyone else, but to benefit ourselves. So after we need to know also that there are slow learners and fast learners in school. There are those people who understand things just there and then, and there are those who need a third party, or they need time for them to understand. So now, since there is this new framework which will allow pupils to be writing exams each and every year, we need to adjust to the fact that exams will not be as hard as the grade 9 exams used to be, because the period won't be enough for the pupils to adequately prepare. So this, if we look at the old curriculum, this old curriculum we are using are for the curriculum for British people. You know, this curriculum we are using, it is based on a remembering. If you can remember to say a broken human died in Kabwe, the bones of Proconsul was discovered by Dr. P.D. Philipson in whatsoever century, means you are intelligent. That is how this curriculum measures intelligence. But the new framework will measure intelligence by what? Practicals. How? Let's talk about computer. They'll be learning about Excel and Microsoft Word. If you can create that Microsoft Word, you are free to go. Not you remembering. So you find that this curriculum, the new introduced curriculum, it is going to provide something that pupils will be able to see, not to remember, something that is practical. You know, practicals are easier than theory. I'm telling you, because you'll be able to touch it, and you'll be able to feel it there and then, and you'll be able to see it. But the old curriculum, you have to memorize. If you can remember, you are intelligent. And that is the outdated way of measuring intelligence of someone. The way to measure intelligence of someone is, are they able to create this? What are they making out of the knowledge they have acquired? And this is what the new curriculum is all about, Mr. Lance.
Now, let's talk about the introduction of secondary level or A level as it is framework. You've published it from 5 and 6. What is the importance of using these levels? And what do we want to achieve?
Okay, so the A levels have been introduced because a degree has been reduced. A degree for 4 years has been reduced to 3 years. Okay, so those A levels, they are going to cover like a first year, what we are calling a first year, like people were in first year. Those people are in first year are supposed to do A levels. So A levels will be like, it will replace first year, in other words, in simple terms. So what they are trying to do is, for someone, there are some people like me, myself, When I went to the university as a first year, I didn't know how to operate a computer. I didn't know anything about calculus. I didn't know anything about macroeconomics, microeconomics, development in developing countries. I didn't know anything. But those A levels are going to prepare pupils for what they are going to see to the university. Anyone can agree with me, Mr. Lancy, that what we learn in this old curriculum is different with what we find at university. But with the introduction of A levels, you will find that there will be a slight difference with what people will be learning in A levels and what they will find. I'll give you an example. I've never used in university. I've never used Henry Stanley Moto or Meti David Livingstone to JJ River. I've never used that. I found things have changed completely. But this new curriculum, introduction of A levels, it is going to equip the pupils for what they are going to find at the university level.
One would argue with you that history is very important because history of science, history of mathematics, history is everywhere. For us today to talk about this new curriculum, obviously, there is history behind it. Now, maybe for the sake of forward, let's get to look at even in the current curriculum that we're using, we still had challenges in obtaining because you will agree that we had subjects such as pure science where you have the lab tests, and the only test that you do was test for starch because chemical was available everywhere. Suffices that it gets adopted. What is the guarantee that we will have everything that is needed for the practicals in schools? And is there a deliberate that has been made that there will be specific schools that will carry specific certain subjects that are looking at a particular practical for example, let's say Southern Province is known rearing cattle. Are we going to see people in Southern Province offering that to the land? How do you look at this? Maybe in that vein, you think that we are going to be competent, that is needed, suffice this framework?
That is a very good question, Mr. Lance, and I should answer it in this way. Since the government has proposed this curriculum, this new framework, it means that they have put something in order that is going to support this initiative, which means they have considered the fact that we need tools to carry out these practicals. I will take you back. Back then in school, we used to go with a slasher. When you are starting grade 8, we used to go with a slasher and maybe a shovel and an axe, anything. You can go with those tools. We used to use those tools to cut grasses and other things. So one of the initiatives, maybe the government will request that each people who come in should come with maybe a slasher or this and that, or maybe the government is going to provide everything all by themselves. And moreover, Mr. Lancy, it is not that these practicals will be done at once. If we have 500 pupils, all the 500 pupils have to do these practicals at once. No, the practicals will be done according to the timetable for each class, and each class, for the sake of argument, has maybe 100 pupils, and government can't fail to provide tools for 100 pupils. So government is well equipped when it comes to tools. Coming on the issue of history, of course, we can't talk about the future without mentioning history. But is everyone supposed to take history? The answer is no. But this new framework has put history at the junior secondary level as an optional subject. If you want, you can take it, or not. To make matters worse, the history that we learn here, it has got a lot of things are unnecessary. People like Broken Human, what will it benefit the country to know that Broken Human died in Kabwe? Who come and ask me today? Who come and ask me today to say, do you know Broken Human? And they give me money. And where did the David Livingstone's heart buried? I learned on how David Livingstone died. They moved his heart and took it. I don't know if it was to England. Look at the way things are scattered. Like, we don't have direction in the education sector as a country. But imagine someone at grade 6 making a house plan. Someone at grade 6 be able to build a fence. Someone at grade 6 be able to build a 2x2 block classroom. It will be a very tremendous country. And as we are rushing to Vision 2030, we stipulate that Zambia becoming a prosperous middle income, which means we will not be exporting a lot of things. We'll try to be content. Now, how are we going to be content if we have produced learners who can only remember that they can't produce? Because this curriculum is based on remembering. Right now, Mr. Lancy, evidently, we have students from the University of Zambia, CBU, and Mulungushi who got 6 points at grade 12, yet they failed to manage there. Why? Because the educational sector from this side, it is based on remembering. When you go to the university, you find the real things. And people who even get 6 points, they fail to manage there. But this new curriculum is going to equip them to where they are going.
Our dear viewer, we have shared the studio link. Kindly join in. You have a person. If you have an addition to what we are discussing, if you want to contribute on what we are discussing, we are simply analyzing the curriculum framework. And my guest this evening is a youth marketing Chabu Chabu, and I am your host, Lance. So we shared the link with you as well as on YouTube. All right, so this is a program that comes every Wednesday from 20 to somewhere about 41 hours. Now, Comrades Chabu, this framework. What the importance of home economics and hospitality of STEM in this new curriculum at ordinary level? What benefit will it have for learners? And also, how will education providers ensure that learners
Okay, so first of all, the importance of HE or home economics. This is a very important subject which I have loved personally in economics. You agree with me that we have what we are calling at Keke Market, this institution for Keke Market. They are all over social media where people are enrolling to go and know how to make cakes, scones, which is a very good thing. But this government has looked to it to say, it will be good if a pupil start acquiring this knowledge at grade 1. You know that even cooking, it is a skill. Sometimes even on your wedding, Mr. Lancy, you need people to cook. You need a cake at your wedding. And you hire you need all those things. Maybe for your son, of course, or your daughter, maybe. I mean, so you need all those things. So now, home economics is going to teach learners on how to bake, to make cakes, to make scones, how to cook, and you find that these people, they'll be getting employment. Maybe you find, because the way school is, sometimes you find that things are hard. You can't continue with the school. You try at least to quit a little bit and have some fresh air. So as a person is quitting there, They get a job by using what? A certificate from home economics. And additionally, everything that they'll be doing, they'll be giving them certificate. You do agriculture, they give you certificate. You do home economics, they give you certificate. And UNZA is offering a certificate at 250 kwacha. But the government will be offering a certificate for free. And to tell you the truth, when I'm done with my degree, I'm going back and start grade 1 so that I learn bricklaying and agriculture. This is my plans, because this framework, Mr. Lance, when you are reading it and you are seeing how Zambia will become a progressive country, it is making sense. The desk that we make through CDF, we hire people. I feel really bad. Sometimes we even hire Chinese people to make those desks. But if we have someone who can make those desks within the school, which means these other resources will be channeled to other projects. Roads, Mr. Lance, we have people are doing architecture, people are doing civil engineering at UNZA. The hostels at UNZA are not built by Zambians, are built by foreigners. Why? Because our Zambian youths, they have few knowledge about what? Building. You find that they want a person who has got an experience of 10 years. But where are you going to get that experience if you were in school for 12 years learning unnecessary things, and now you add another 5 years now to learn your things, which means you need to add another 5 years to get your what? The experience. But the experience in this new curriculum will start from the beginning, grade 1. Me, I want to study civil engineering. What should I focus on? I should focus on this and this. Or maybe me, I want to do sociology. What should I focus on? I should focus on social studies and these other things. So this is how home economics is important. And this new curriculum will require a lot of teachers, meaning government will need to employ more teachers, and these teachers will be specifically specialist teachers, like they are just specialized in that particular field, not what we are seeing right now. One teacher is teaching the 7 subjects. It's really bad. But this new curriculum will require that each subject has got one teacher on it. So this is also going to offer employment to people who have done teaching.
Now, do you think that reforms will be for in the 2024 budget?
Okay, so now what we need to know now that this is a proposal, and they are waiting for it to go to parliament, because the framework has to be an act of parliament. So when it depends with what we the Zambians agree on, whether we should accept or not. And me, according to my own opinion, this is a very noble, tremendous, elegant, brilliant move by the government, which we should accept. And we are going to champion this, Mr. Ransi. We are going to walk from Lusaka on foot to the Copper Belt to sensitize the Zambian people about this curriculum, because people are taking it political. That is the bad part. People are saying, no, they have removed the exams, no, they have increased the years, but things are just straightforward. So it is up to us, the youths, to take the exact things that we are articulating here and tell people to say, this is what is included in the new curriculum. It is up to you to say no or yes. If they refuse, it means we don't want to develop as a nation, because for the past 50 plus years, we have been using one framework, which they left us by our colonial masters. The people we chased in the country, we are using their things. We are indirectly being colonized by the British people. And then they are happy because they use us as their labor force, and they bribe us through something which is called a salary. But if all of us has got a skill, we'll all become independent and work for our own.
we've heard people make such pronouncements of we will walk from point A to point B. Before they even reach point B, they tire and start to get on buses or probably hiking, getting back. Are you putting it on record, Comrades? Chabu Chabu is walking from Lusaka to the Copper Belt, sensitizing about this curriculum.
I'm putting it on record, Mr. Ransi, that we are going to work because I'm not alone who has believed in this framework. There are also other ambitious youths who have also agreed with me to say this is a good framework because personally, I'm looking at this framework at the future perspective, at the sustainability perspective. I'm not looking at this framework at the political point of view. So we are making it clear, categorically, critically clear that we as the youths, because we are the future leaders of tomorrow, a person who is 70 years old won't be affected by this. So even if they don't support it, it's fine because it's us who be affected. So we are putting it on record. We are not going to relent or to back off about this movement. We are going to walk on foot, and it will be on record that we had 10 pupils, 20, 50. We don't care how many will be, but we want this thing to be implemented because it is speaking for the future.
Comrade Chabu, thank you so much for that. We are still going to invite you, our dear viewers, to join us right here in the studio as we are discussing the new education curriculum framework the government just released. And of course, waiting for the public participate and probably input or give a nod to it. Now, in the studio, I've been joined by my co-host Chaza, who was with me from the start of the program, but due to some circumstances, because he couldn't. But however, he has managed to join us into the studio. Chaza, good evening. Welcome to the program.
Good evening, Lance, and good evening to the listeners and viewers.
All right, thank you so much,
Good
Comrade
evening,
Chabu.
Mr. Charles.
We are getting some feedback. All right.
Okay.
Now, our dear viewers, we ask that you can join us in the studio right in the comments box. Click on that link. Express your views on what we are discussing, what you take on the national education framework policy that government is discussing with. Are you satisfied with it? Are you okay with it? Do you have resentments about it? Or you would love to get answered? All right. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chabu, maybe at the time you are not,
Yes,
maybe at the time you are not speaking, maybe you may try to mute your mic. Yeah, maybe that will help us to get rid of the feedback. So you may just turn on the mic at the time that you are speaking so that we avoid the feedback. Yes, Lance, I throw it back to you.
Well, anyway, on a lighter note, you look like you are putting on a backpack. Are you ready for for A levels?
Maybe I sit up just, I think you are also looking like you are putting on a backpack also with bigger belts.
All right, thank you so much for that. Anyway, so just to also continue with our program, Comrade Chabu, allow me to obviously take this extract from the education framework, curriculum framework, talking about when you read part 4.2.2.1, it says the upper primary will offer 8 learning areas, namely English language, Zambian language, mathematics, science, social studies, technology studies, expressive arts, and home economics. This means that learners will have to choose an optional practical subject between home economics and expressive arts as a basis for a career pathway. Now, to increase the catchment for STEM related pathways, mathematics and technology studies is also meant to equip all the learners with digital literacy. I remember you talking about not being able to operate a computer first year in your first year at the university. So at least technology studies will bring that to the learners. In one of the subjects or that have been mentioned, there is a subject called expressive arts. Would you mind to explain to our viewers what is expressive arts? You are on mute, comrade.
Expressive arts. I'm audible now.
Yes, yes.
Okay. There is this subject we used to call CTS. Okay. So now this CTS has been divided into two: the technology which you are talking about and expressive arts. CTS had everything: the technology part and the art part. So when we're talking about expressive arts, we are simply talking about something that has to do with, let's say, drawing. You know, we see these people making portrait for members of parliament, and you will see that even there's this a famous girl, Messi Art. You know, she's making money at a very young age through art, through the same arts. So expressive arts is just something that will deal with the drawing specifically, because it was CTS, now it has been divided into two. So expressive art, it is also a skill which those who are good in drawing, they can automatically get that subject and go with it as a career path for them.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Kindly mute your mic. I think I'll invite you to mute your mic. I think I'll invite you to speak. Okay, yeah. So now that we have, this proposed syllabus, or rather curriculum, I would like, to have a back-to-back kind of, summative, comparison, between the current one, which is subsisting, and the one that has been proposed. I know you have actually delved into the advantages of, this current one. I'd like to briefly, give us some kind of a comparison and, some of the reasons that you feel that this proposed one is more progressive than, the one that we are using currently.
Okay, so to start with, the old curriculum, the one that we're using right now, it did not provide optional subjects to the pupils at junior secondary level. Most of the subjects were being taken for the sake and owing to the fact that these subjects were compulsory subjects. For example, social studies. In the old curriculum, social studies is compulsory. In the new curriculum, social studies is optional. And now science, in the old curriculum, it is just science. But in the new curriculum, it has been divided into three parts. It is either you take any one of these, two of these, or all of them. So we have physics, we have biology, and we have chemistry. I remember in my secondary school, I was very good when it comes to physics and chemistry. Biology was hectic for me. So why would I choose something that is hectic But the old curriculum, even if it was hectic for me, I was meant to do it. And the sad part is, I don't even use biology where I've gone. I'm using something else, so which means they wasted my time to do something I don't like. But this new curriculum, they'll give you a chance to do something that you like, something that you want to do. If you want to do physics, they'll give you that opportunity. But the old curriculum, they can't give you that opportunity, whether you like it or not. You have to do physics, chemistry, biology, whether you like it or not. Not only that, this new curriculum, it has come with two things: knowledge and skills. The old curriculum, the one we are using now, Mr. Chaza, it is based on remembering. The nature of intelligence is being measured if a pupil can remember where David Livingstone died, where a broken human died, where the bones of Proconsul are. That is what this curriculum is based on. Now, as we are going forward, we are approaching Vision 2030 of Zambia becoming a prosperous middle income, and we are in line with the 80th National Development Plan. We can't hold on this curriculum. Zambia is more than 50 plus years. We are using the curriculum of British people, the curriculum which people were colonizing us introduced, which means we are not liberated. If you say you are liberated, I'm a development expert student. I refuse if people say that Zambia is liberated. No, Zambia is not liberated. We are being colonized indirectly. And one of the ways we are being colonized is the educational sector. How can we be among the top countries that produce copper, yet our country is poor such that the poor call us poor? Why can that be the case? Which means we don't have an educational system that can provide skills. So this new curriculum has come in. Agriculture. We know that 75% of the Zambian economy depends on agriculture. We depend because we have a land which is favorable when it comes to agriculture. So the government has seen that, okay, we can specialize in agriculture. If we are producing a lot, it means we'll be good as a country. They have brought agriculture, which we used to learn at the university and college level. They have brought it to primary level, and they have put it compulsory, which is a very tremendous move. Because a person who acquire a skill, the intelligence will be measured on the skill. How can you plant crops? How can you rear this? How can you keep pigs and how can you have pigs and cows? That is what this new curriculum is all about. And we shouldn't make a mistake, Mr. Chaza, of politicizing this curriculum. Let those people who play politics, and let us non-partisan citizen, young, vibrant, elegant, brilliant youths champion this movement and support the government. We are not supporting this movement because it is going to benefit me. It is going to benefit the future. We have our siblings who are coming, who will not even care about Omwabis and David Livingstone. They want a skill. They want a skill, Mr. Chaza. And lastly, you will find that Western countries are going to condemn Zambia for changing the curriculum. One thing we should know is that Western countries, they don't want to see African countries developed, because us, we are used as labor force, and they bribe us through something called a salary. If you can be able to remember, whites will love you. If you have that memory to remember that this and this, they will love you. But if you have a skill, they will see that, no, this one, they are going to get our relevance. Because even Western countries, they want to maintain their relevance. They want to maintain their relevance. But if they see such things happen in our country, they will definitely be scared, because we are now going to the promised land as a nation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back. It's good to have you back. We had lost you to connectivity. And I think at this point in time, we'll be concluding on the program. And I will invite you, Lance, before we get to the close, you may come in at this point in time. Unfortunately, he has, fallen out once again. Let me invite you, Mr. Chabu. Due to time, I wish we could go on and get to delve, in the in-depth of this discussion that, is so interesting. So due to time, I'll invite you to give us, your concluding remarks, probably in a minute or so, as we get to come to a close. You are still okay. You are still okay. You can proceed.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chaza. To start with, let all the youths support this movement. Let them support the framework which has been proposed by the government. This is our framework as the young people. Let's not dwell into politics. Let's not politicize this framework. These people are saying, they have removed grade 9, they have removed grade 7, whatsoever. They haven't removed anything. They have just made some changes. Grade 9 is there. Grade 7 is there. Let's read the framework, then deduce from the framework. We can't keep on learning the parts of a grasshopper. Learning the parts of a grasshopper, and you come and become civil engineering. What were you doing by learning the parts of a grasshopper? So this curriculum, it is a very good one, and I want to put it on record for the second time that we are ready to advocate for this initiative voluntarily without being paid. We'll be able to work on food from Lusaka to the Copper Belt and to other parts of Zambia, just to make sure that this initiative becomes a success. Because to me, I've seen sustainability. I've seen that with this initiative, Zambia will be on the next level in the next 10 years. Zambia is now 50 plus years,
it looks
but
like
we are still suffering.
Our guest is having a Mr. Chabu, if you are getting me, kindly put your mic on mute. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, we can barely get you. I really don't know if it's an issue to do with connectivity. Maybe I'll invite you once more, unmute your mic and try to speak. We see if we can get you.
Okay, can you get me now?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Okay, so what I was saying is, we as the Zambian youths, we are ready to champion this initiative. We are ready to support the government. We don't want anyone to pay us. If it means to walk from Lusaka to the Copper Belt on foot, we are going to do it. We are going to move to different parts of the country, because there are people who haven't even read the framework. They haven't read the framework. They are just getting speculations from social media and politicians. As a result, they think that this is a bad framework or the country is just dying. No, we need to tell the youths what is in the framework, what is actually there, what is written there, like we have alluded to on this program. That is what we are championing for. And we are ready. There are a lot of youths who have supported this initiative, and we are ready to move forward with this new curriculum, because we have seen future in this new curriculum. Zambia is 50 plus years, yet we are still suffering with a population of 19 million people, and 50 plus are the youths. We are still suffering. One of the reasons is because of our educational sector. It is pathetic. It is pathetic because we learn a lot of unnecessary things. Someone learning about a grasshopper who is going to do civil engineering.
Mr. Chabu, kindly mute your mic.
Yes, Mr. Lance.
Kindly mute your mic. Okay, it's been really a great time, and I can see you are still, boiling with a lot of, information as regards this, proposed curriculum. And it's so exciting because a lot of people have been crying that, the curriculum is supposed to be changed for it to actually embrace even new, actually, developments, in the world. And I can see that is so far being received with both hands, especially from youths like yourself, Mr. Chabu. And believe you me, this platform is available Ubuntu channel to actually host the likes of yourself to actually deliberate on such issues. But due to time, like I said, would like to appreciate your time. We are so profoundly humbled and delighted to host you right here on Meet Your Leaders on our Ubuntu channel. And we are looking forward to even hosting you even some other time. Thank you so much for coming, Mr. Chabu. And, the viewers and listeners out there, we are also grateful. And we do apologize, for the bad sounds that we have experienced in terms of feedback right here. That was due to some technicalities here and there. From, myself, Chaza, the co-host, and Lance, who was dropped due to connectivity. We sincerely, appreciate your viewership and listenership of, this program and Ubuntu channel generally. Till next time, God bless you all.